All right, so welcome everyone to the last session of Iwwof Talks Learning for 2021, but no worries, there will be more next year. My name is Alina Valinen. I will be your host together with my colleague Shmita, and I will take your time for a few minutes to introduce the International Working Women of Finland. The organization that is bringing this webinar to you. Oh, it doesn't want to go. I went too far. There we are. So this is our agenda for today. We have the introduction that I'm doing now, a presentation and discussion, and a Q&A. And here we are. Sorry again. My laptop is playing tricks on me. There we are. So what is International Working Women of Finland? Is a community of internationally minded women. So not only Finns, not only international, but also Finns. And we want to create a more integrated, diverse, and inclusive Finnish society. And we try to empower, enrich, and enable opportunities for everyone. And this initiative, Iwwof Talks Learning, is one of them. This organization was set up in 2019, so recently we celebrated 2 years, and it was registered as a non-profit in November of 2019. This Iwwof Talks Learning initiative is a series of talks on learning, higher education, university life, and employability of international talents in Finland. And we have guests from academia, corporate education, learning, as you can see today, a staffing and recruitment company, and so on. So today's session is welcoming academic work, and the speakers, Satu and Isa, to show us how they support young professionals into working life. And that's it from me.
Awesome.
If I can leave my screen. I apologize, my laptop is tired. I've had enough for today, probably enough work.
No worries,
So,
Alina.
No worries. Well, I will then share my screen.
Yes,
yes.
and I think we can take charge after that. Thank you, Isa, for
Can you, one
presenting.
question more, can you see the sidebar which is on my screen, or should I take it off?
No, we won't see. So
Okay.
it's okay.
We don't see it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So maybe in the beginning, I think we could introduce ourselves before we go to the theme of the day. So my name is Satu, and with me is today Isa. We are both working at Academic Work Finland, and we're both recruiters, or I used to be, and Isa is currently. Maybe I start telling a bit about my background, and Isa, you can then tell about yours.
Sure.
Currently, I work at our group, so I'm not doing recruitment anymore, but I used to. So I've been working at Academic Work since 2015. I started as a recruiter, but the title is consultant manager. But yeah, I did recruitment. I did that for 4 years. And in addition to doing the recruitment myself, I also was team leader for recruiters. I myself was specialized in tech, and tech at Academic Work means everything else inside technology except for IT. So I did recruitment, especially in that area, and my team was specialized also in IT. And a few years ago, 2019, I started working for Academic Work Finland. I was supporting our recruitment, our head of operations, so our head of recruitment in different inner projects, alongside being a team manager. And for the past 1.5 years, I've actually been on maternity leave. I have, my daughter is now 1 year and 4 months, and you can hear her maybe in the background. She's with her father right now. But I will return to work fully on January and start in a new role, where I will actually work to Sweden, so to our group, and I will be international project manager and subject matter expert. So I will take care of all the inner projects that has to do with client experience and consultant experience. So those people who work through us in assignments to our clients. So all the projects trying to make everything work better for our clients and consultants. So I'm extremely excited about that. So yeah, I will be working internationally in the future. So and in English. So that's also something that academic work makes possible. But actually, Isa is also doing something internationally, because you're right now in Madrid, right?
Yes, I am taking this webinar from Madrid. I really appreciate and love the international aspect of academic work, and this company enabled me to come here and get a little escape from the Finnish November. So I'm here for the rest of the year doing work remotely. And I've been working at academic work for 3 years now. I started as a part-time junior recruiter while I was still finishing up my studies. And from there, 2 years ago, started as a full-time recruiter, which is, like Satu said, we call it a consultant manager. And yeah, so I'm leading the recruitment processes. And in addition to that, I'm taking care of the consultants' employment. So that full employment cycle, and also leading one of our internal teams, the assistant teams. So that's my current role. But actually, before joining as a junior recruiter, I was hired by academic work to one of our clients. I worked at a very small IT startup. So I have fully seen the whole cycle from getting recruited by academic work to a company, and then now working internally, hiring other people for our clients. So that's a bit of a specialty of my journey at academic work.
This is actually quite funny. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but that was exact my story as well. I've been working as a consultant for academic work before joining academic work. Also, there was few years gap, like I didn't straight come from consultant to academic work, but I did that for 2 years, and I also worked in IT startup. So, so same background.
We haven't even
never discussed about this. No, that's funny.
How exciting! That's my story as well. I also found my job through academic work, right?
Yeah,
that's how we found each other. So.
That's true. And thank you, Alina, for asking us. It's been really nice to join this webinar and get to hear about you as well.
Yeah. And I think these stories really sum up academic work, giving opportunities, helping people to grow in their career and leading the paths forward. So such a funny start for this webinar that we realized this.
That's
awesome.
True.
Okay.
And I wanted to mention something that you told me, and then I forgot because of my problems with the laptop, that we want to invite the audience to ask as many questions as possible. And interrupt us as many times as they need to make sure that they leave with all the answers they need.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. And we are here for you to give any tips. So please interrupt us or just send message to this chat.
Yes.
But now, Satu, stage is yours.
Thank you. About agenda for today, I will tell quite shortly about academic work and what kind of company we are and what do we do. But the main part of our presentation will be tips and tricks for CV and for LinkedIn profile. And I think there is some random slides about other stuff as well, like tips about job hunts.
Yeah.
And also, what do we offer for international people? So people who don't speak Finnish, or that's not in good enough level to work with that language. So we will talk about that as well. And yeah, like Isa said, feel free to interrupt us at any point you want. All right, but about academic work, I don't know if that's a company that's known to many of you, but we have currently 28 offices in 6 different countries. So we're located in all the Nordic countries, plus Germany and Switzerland. And by far, we've been working around 23 years. Our company started in Sweden, and in Finland, we've been since 2008. And we have on a group level, we have by far recruited more than 150,000 young professionals to different new positions. So we have quite wide experience of what do junior professionals look for, and how are they, and what's the junior professional market right now. All right, and our biggest areas of expertise, so where we work in all the countries, are IT, technology, and business. We do only white collar, meaning that positions, we don't do blue collar at all. But in many of our positions, you can still apply even though you wouldn't have a degree in university or University of Applied Sciences. So if you don't leave from this webinar now, there might be something for you as well. But that's like where we are very, very strong at. It's the white collar junior professional.
Yeah, and what we mean by young professionals, we are not talking about age. We are talking about the level of the challenge. So we're talking about mostly students and people who have 1 to 5 years of relevant experience within that field. So that's the main area.
Yeah, very important points from Isa. All right, let's move forward. About Finland, we talk about AW ecosystem. We have different companies here in Finland. So we have academic work that we're representing right now, which is the staffing and recruitment company. And we also have academy, which is, how we call it is next generation training company. We provide these like 12-week really intense accelerated learning courses where we train people to new careers. Mainly it's been IT and tech, but we do other things as well. That's very interesting part of academic work as well. So that's our training company. And our newest addition is DigiTalent, which opened up 2020, so it's been open around for one year and a half now. And that is our IT consultancy company. So we offer like more senior expertise in IT for our clients. So academic work and academy are more for juniors, when DigiTalent is more for senior IT professionals in a way. Today we will talk about academic work. But if you're interested in academy or DigiTalent, you find them very easily from our website, or just Googling them, you get more information from these 2 companies as well.
Yeah, one quick addition about academy, it is such a cool program. Basically training you to change your career, for example, to IT without having any degree or previous experience. You can be, for example, I just recruited one person. She was a health nurse, but she sees herself in the IT field in the future. So you don't have to go through 5 years of university looking for a job. Academy and 12 weeks of training enabled her to switch to IT field. We have lots of classes and programs, so I definitely recommend to check out Academy as well. And with some of the programs, you don't need to speak Finnish. Some of them you need to speak fluent Finnish, but it's specified in the description.
Yeah, that is such an exciting company to be honest on a side note. But like one funny fact is that there is in the programming courses that we do, they program as many hours as those who study IT in University of Applied Sciences. So in 3.5 years, you program as much in University of Applied Sciences as you do programming in our academy in 12 weeks. So it's very, very interesting. All right, we could talk about this for hours, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Well.
Let's go to the next slide.
All right. So our services, what do we offer at Academic Work Finland? I think at this point, it's good to go a bit deeper into what is staffing and what is recruitment, because that might be not known for everyone, these terms. So what is recruitment? Recruitment is when one of our clients wants to recruit someone for a certain open position through us, but that they will write work contract directly with the candidate. So they kind of just use us to find the right and the most suited candidates for their position. There's multiple different reasons why companies do that. For example, the lack of time, they don't have access to the job boards, or they don't have knowledge of recruiting. So they want to use a partner for that. So that's recruiting. That's what we do for our clients. Other part that we do a lot is staffing. And in staffing, the process is the same. So the client has a need, they need an employee for certain position, but for certain reasons, they want the person to write a work contract with academic work. So then this person will work as a consultant to the client company. There isn't too much difference with that, because the only difference is that the pay role will happen through academic work, and at academic work you will have a manager taking care of all the things you need at your work, all HR things, all salaries, everything, and make sure that you're doing well at the client company. So that's something. Again, there's various reasons why clients want to do staffing. For example, they have a position where they would want someone pretty junior to do that, but they're afraid to do straight recruitment. What if the junior isn't performing? So it's a way for the junior to show their skills at the client or doing the recruitment decision. Or the client isn't sure if they have the need for the future. They just want someone for part-time, or in some IT companies or bigger companies, they have their headcount is full. So they need someone to help with the workload, but they can't hire anyone because it's full. So there are different reasons why they do this. But from the employee's point of view, the only difference is where the salary comes from in most of the cases. And our goal in most of these staffing cases is to get these staffing consultants to get recruited to the client company at some point of their career. So we don't want people to stay necessarily at academic work or work through academic work. We want them to get the position if that's what the client and the candidate want. So then it will be, it's called temp to perm. So you will work temporary through academic work, but you will be at some point recruited to the client company. And that's our goal. And how unclear was I? No. You can feel me in Isa.
I think the main point, well, speaking from my perspective, being a consultant before joining academic work internally, none of my colleagues even knew that actually my official employer was academic work, because it's not seen, you're not pointed out to be an outside resource. We want everyone to be part of the team. You have your line manager at the company. So we are basically just the administrative party behind. But in addition to that, we truly are a career partner to help you through these staffing positions, pursue your career in very cool companies that are our clients.
Yeah. that's what we offer at Academic Work. That's what we mainly do. And in addition to academy and digitalent that we already mentioned, we also do Iwwof, which is this research or annual survey that we do for young professionals of what things matter to them when searching for a new position. That's very, very interesting, and we will get back to this later on because I think this is something that might be interesting for you guys to hear because we just did our this year's Iwwof survey. So we go to that a bit later. All right, so this is already what
Sorry.
No worries. But Isa pointed out. So when we talk about young professionals, that has nothing to do with age. So what we do, where we are working the best with, is people who are students or newly graduated that have less than 5 years of relevant working experience to the position that they're searching for. So when you look for positions through Academic Work, all of our positions are like this. Obviously, it means if you have more skills than what the client is looking for, that's normally a very good thing. It's not like that doesn't mean that don't apply, but this is our target group is this less than 5 years of working experience, except digitalent that has more experienced ones. And I mentioned already the top 3 of our areas of excellence, which were IT and tech and business. These are basically all the positions that we do. So we also we do customer service, we do warehouse or logistics, white collar in these. We have a lot of positions for industry and so on. So we have quite versatile pool of jobs.
Yes.
All right. So our client decides to recruit someone through us. So where do we find the people then? Obviously, we post job ads, which get to our webpage, which gives us quite a lot of candidates. But I think the biggest asset that we have is our database. In our Finnish database, we have more than 70,000 candidates, active candidates, of which, and we get around, I think it was over 1,300 registrations each month more. So we have a huge database where we can search for candidates for our clients. Obviously, our web is very important for us. We get individual visits more than 30,000 per each month. So that's important for us as well. We use job boards to post or to share the job ads that we've written. And in addition, we source from other, not just from our own database, but we also use like LinkedIn and Monster to source for candidates for the open positions. To some positions, we find candidates just through posting a job ad and sharing it to job boards, but to some positions, we need to source for candidates from database and from our own database and from other databases as well. Yes. And we keep saying that we are the home of young professionals, and we say that with pride. But why are we the home for young professionals? Well, we are a market leader in attracting, recruiting, developing young professionals. We have very structured and personal approach to recruiting. I will tell later on a bit more about our recruitment process and why it's quite unique. We have a very good understanding of young professionals and their wishes, what they want right now, and what's the market currently. We have very good scores from our clients and from our candidates and consultants. So we're very trusted partner. For our clients, we share all the knowledge that we have of the market. We can help them with different trends and help them with finding the right candidates. And yeah, we're a very attractive partner for clients due to the fact that we are so specialized in this certain area. And as we have very deep conversations with our clients about their business, we understand their business and where they want their business to be, so we can help them easily with their staffing needs. So we kind of challenge them with their thoughts and see if we can come up with something that helps them achieve their business goals through staff better. Yeah. Here are listed some of our clients. So we have a lot of references, but here are some of them. We work with like the companies that we work with. I don't think there isn't too many companies in Finland that couldn't be our clients. So we have our clients can be really big enterprises, or they can be extremely small startups. So they can be anything from between of these and in different fields. So in all companies where they are white collar positions, they can be our clients. But here are some of our references, maybe some ones that you know as well. All right, let's go to our recruitment process. Like I said, we have like a personal way of approaching the whole recruitment. When we think about recruitment, we strongly feel that you can't hire a person just with thinking hard skills. Specifically, when you think about young professionals who don't have that much experience in work life yet. How we see it, and science as well, this is our study sees it as well, is that when you pinpoint or you understand the needs that a certain position have and match the soft skills of the candidate to those needs, then it's the best. That's like the best way to predict if the person will perform the position or not. Let me give you an example. Our client's looking for financial assistance that doesn't need to have any experience in similar positions before. So then we have the discussion, and with the client, we kind of together realize that those like competencies that this person needs to have, well, they need to be punctual. Obviously, if you do finance, you need to be punctual. Then we understand that you need to be very structured in order to be able to cope with all the work. And if in that position you maybe communicate with clients, you need to have good verbal skills. So we pinpoint 3 to 5, this kind of like soft skills. And when we interview people for this position, we are looking for, in addition to the necessary hard skills, we're also looking for very strongly these certain skills from the person, soft skills from the person. So how we do it, we have a set of questions for example, punctuality. We ask them to give different examples of situations where they've been very, very punctual. So then they tell some experience, the candidate tells some experience of a certain situation. We ask more and more questions to gain like a complete understanding of the situation. And then we can analyze if that actually, through the different examples they have given, if they really are punctual or not. That's how we analyze the candidates. And when we decide after all interviews, like which candidates we want to present to clients, we always take into consideration the hard skills, that do they match what the client needs, like really needs for that position, and who has performed the best in the interview in those like soft skills, like who has given the best examples of punctuality, of what did I say, structured, and of being structured and communication. Yeah. So, and it's not about the most mind-blowing examples you need to give, but they need to be examples where we see that you actually, yes, you have been very punctual in this. It can be like thesis. In thesis, I needed to do this and this and this. So it doesn't need to be like big examples, but they need to be good examples where it really shows you've been punctual. So that's the background of like how we select candidates for our clients. So how it goes, our client has a need. They call us. We, for some reason, managed to call them at the right time. We discussed that they have a need, so they need like a person for a certain position. Our recruiter goes through very thoroughly with the client what the need is. So we gain like a really good understanding, like what's the theme, what's the position, what are the hard skills you need to have for that position, what are the soft skills that would be very good for this position. So we kind of go through and gain like a complete understanding, like, yes, now I know what I'm searching for. Then we write the job ad, and we post it. Depending on the positions, at the same time, most likely we start searching for candidates from our database, because right now the market is going to the direction where there is all the time less and less candidates applying. So it's like starting to be in many positions, it's starting to be like candidates market, so to say. So we have like in many positions, we also need to call candidates, find them from database and call like, hey, we have this kind of position, would you be interested or not? So we do that at the same time. When we get applications, we screen them through, see if they match to what we're looking for. Those who match, we call. We do a phone interview where we go through certain things. And if everything sounds good, we call them for interview. In the interview, we do the behavioral-based interview, what I already told you guys about. So we go through different set of questions. But good to understand is that we do structured interview method, which means that we always use the same interview base for everyone. So it's fair game for everyone who is in our interviews. They get asked the same questions and in the same order as well. After we've analyzed all the interviews, we'll decide the top 3 candidates, maximum 3 candidates that we present to our clients. And after that, our clients decide who to interview and interviews them. We do reference calls if our clients need them or ask them. But what we've learned, and so many recruitment companies in Finland have learned, is that in Finland you have to have approval of the reference for the call. So when the person is applying for a job, they need to call to the reference and say, hey, can you be my reference in case I need a reference? And they say yes. So you don't call and ask a reference from a person who would say something negative about you. So the references are selected by the candidate, not by, so you can't call anyone. So basically you never get anything from the reference calls, anything negative out of it or anything constructive out of it. So it's not the best one, best part maybe. But we do them if our client wants to. And well, after the client interviews, he makes the decision. She makes the decision which candidate they want to continue, and then we or the client writes a work contract. So that's kind of the main flow of our process. Very summarized. Yeah. All right. So do we have positions for international students or international people? Yes, we do. We do a lot. All of our available jobs in English can be found from our webpage. Sadly, our webpage is currently in English. We're doing this huge IT project for the whole academic work group that has taken already, I don't even know, 4 years or something. We're kind of on the end of the project, but hopefully then we will have English webpage as well. But currently it's in Finnish. You can also translate the whole page from Google Chrome to English, but it's not hard. So you found them very easily. You go to our webpage, you click from the työpaikat, so job positions, which is the upper yellow circle, and then select from the below jobs in English, so the second yellow circle. And then you get a listing of all the jobs we have in English. Currently, there are 63, so there are quite a lot. Here are some examples of them. Good for you to know is that when you get the listing, some of them will be in Finnish. This is due to the fact that in some positions, the client has said, it's okay for the candidate to speak only English, or they can speak Finnish. It doesn't matter. So in those situations, the recruiter needs to do 2 job ads, one in Finnish and one in English. But in our system, you can only select one language. So they will select English. So that's the reason in listing, they will be 2 on top or very close to each other that are the same job ad, but in 2 different languages. So just read the English ones and you will find that's like enough you need to know. But that's the reason why there is Finnish in the listing as well. Well, why to work as a consultant for academic work or overall for staffing companies? Well, you get very interesting job opportunities in different organizations. Maybe some job opportunities you wouldn't get otherwise because they wouldn't be straight recruitment or they wouldn't be straight recruitment. You get a career partner that you can trust. You can trust that we do everything very correctly at academic work, and we really care about our consultants. We want them to feel good in the client companies, and we listen and do changes if not. So that's very important for us. Obviously, if you're junior, you get an opportunity to showcase your skills and gain work experience, and obviously you get a chance to convince the organization of your skills as well, and hopefully get a permanent position as well. When you're in the beginning of your career, you get a lot of valuable experience and valuable contacts and growth opportunities within the whole job field, but also at academic work. We have a lot of consultants who just want to work through us. They don't want to be recruited to any client. They like the fact that the job is changing and they want to kind of jump from one temp job to another. So we have these as well, which is fine for us. Then they grow at academic work, and we keep them there.
And to collect different kinds of experiences, and once you get your consultant manager from academic work, you're networking with us, and through us you can just, like Satu said, jump from one to another. I have had these consultants with my client companies as well.
And maybe it's easier to even say like, hey, I really need something else. Like I want to do something more challenging and so on. I've had a lot of these discussions with my consultants previously, that they're like, yeah, I'm so used to this, like I would want something new. And then I will kind of give the hint to the client that, hey, our consultant would be up for more demanding jobs. Do you have anything you could do? Or then they are very clear to me, like, hey, this client company is not for me. I want to search for something else. Can you help me? And then we go through all the open positions or all the client's needs that we know, and see if we can find a new position for this person.
Yeah.
All right.
And then if you have somebody who's done several contracts with you, then do they get like a permanent contract with academic work?
Yeah, they do. We have permanent work contracts as well. So not all of, even though you would have like a temporary position that you're recruited to through staffing, they aren't always temporary work contracts. They can be permanent ones as well. If we see that we have positions to offer to this person in the future as well, so their skills are that we know that this can be sold to so many different places, like cold, said very cold, and it can be sold to so many different places, then we will do the permanent work contract with academic work. But not everyone wants to. They want the possibility to be recruited.
Obviously. But I guess that if you have several contracts, it's much better to have a permanent position than jumping from place to place and having the insecurity of always having to look for another contract. So
that's
it's a good option as well. Yeah. At this
definitely.
point, I wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience before we move on to the next. I was curious if any of you have had experience with staffing and recruitment company and how that worked for you.
Or also have any of you search opportunities through academic work?
Yeah.
Even being hired through us?
Yeah, I can see. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm also
Yes, please.
using academic work for job searching, and I
Yeah.
also find that there are jobs in English, and also use Google Translate for that. But you also mentioned there is academic work academy, and I think I will searching more points from that. But I'm using that. I think I can find some positions and through that, and I also find some position from LinkedIn. It's also posted by academic work. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm using that.
Yeah, good to hear that you find interesting positions.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well then let's jump to the tips and tricks section for job hunt. CV and application, why it is important? Well, that is your moment to truly show your background, your skills, and why you would be a good candidate to proceed to the job interview phase. The first screening phase is truly the toughest. That's why truly CV and application is the place where you should be putting your effort and making them to be amazing. Yeah, I have a question. Does anyone know what does 6 seconds, what's the meaning behind it when we're talking about recruiting? Any guesses? What is 6 seconds kind of?
If that means the recruiter will see your CV in 6 seconds? No, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
You're correct, yeah.
Yeah.
More specifically, it's the 6 first seconds that the recruiter, based on studies, they will decide whether this candidate is the one that they will proceed or no. Yeah. So it's the critical 6 seconds. That's why your CV should be impressive. And now I'll be telling you how to make an impressive, outstanding CV. Starting with basics, first of all, being a clear, nice to see, and that recruiter can see the facts easily, because it is such a short time. We will make the mind a picture of your CV. So the information should be found easily and nicely. And having relevant, informative sections, I really suggest having different kinds of, if you have your CV open, you have a picture, some information, a profile statement, your experience, your education, all of that very nice and clearly in the first page. And having only the relevant information, you don't want to stuff everything in those 1 or 2 pages that is your background, only choosing the relevant info. Customize. This is one of the main points how you really can stand out from the mass of other applicants. I suggest making and now really putting time to create a very good core CV. But when you send your CV and apply, then customizing with little tiny changes there and there. So for example, when you have your profile statement at first, you tell about your core skills, your background with couple sentences, and then what you're looking for. What is your next goal? Maybe there you can even mention the company you are applying for and the position. that truly gives the recruiter a feeling that, wow, this person truly wants to be hired to us, specifically to this position. But having a core CV and application, little changes, and you can customize it pretty easily. And showing your personality, since the competition is really tough, those applicants who have something unique, something little different, will be in recruiter's mind and really make the impression. What it can be, maybe you have something unique about your background. You have some volunteer experience. Maybe you are a former athlete. Maybe you have international work experience. You have lived abroad. You have collected really cool experience. That's something that really shines through and is unique about you. And I want to showcase not only showing or saying, let's say I'm myself, I'm a former national gymnast. So not only saying I used to be a gymnast, I'm also telling what my experiences taught me, what I have with me from those experiences that I can use in the work life and bring along to the new company. Because these experiences can teach us very valuable knowledge as well. When writing your CV, couple things and applying through us at Academic Work. Well, us recruiters, me and my colleagues, we will be reading all the documents. We don't have any machines or robots to go through them. We will go through each one of them. But we do use keywords and algorithm search when we search from that database of 70,000 active job seekers. So when you download your CV to Academic Work's pool, website portal, there we do keyword search. So what I suggest for this, and also for having an informative CV, maybe on your CV you can have a section saying core skills. And there you put keywords with your core competencies. It can be if you know some programming languages like C#, JavaScript. Maybe it's some other programs, some like ERP programs, SAP, Microsoft Office. Maybe you are really pro at Excel. Maybe it's some languages that you know, some other hard skills. And with having those nicely written out, our keyword search will be found in your CV when we do the keyword search. And when I'm screening candidates, back in my mind, I have, let's say, the top 5 criteria I'm looking for, the requirements, maybe some specific education or experience or some other hard skill. Then I'm going through the CV and trying to spot those skills. Well, first of all, it's the 6 seconds that I'm really trying hard to spot on those. If you can showcase the main skills very easily, it's an extremely good thing. That's why you should always be customizing your CV. So when you are applying, my tip is to have the job advert and your CV, and then checking, do I have the criteria in the job advert found in my CV? You don't have to repeat it. I don't suggest repeating it, but having making it easy for the recruiter to find those skills. That's the customizing. And a pro tip when you apply through Academic Work, I will start going through the applications when they come and when they arrive, right from the day one. So the sooner you apply, the better. And from there, when I find a suitable candidate, I'll start proceeding right away to the next round. So we don't have any deadlines until we wait and then we start screening. We start doing it right away.
And maybe a bit more about like, why do we do this? Why don't we have any deadlines? Well, we know that most of the candidates, like the best candidates that apply, they're searching for a lot of jobs at the same time. So the more we wait, the more we will have people who are not active anymore. So they have been already hired to some other company. So we lose these good candidates if we wait. The second reason why we move forward as fast as we get good candidates is that I don't think I'm lying if I say like in 90% of cases when our client needs an employee, they're like, when we ask like, when do you need this person, they answer 2 weeks ago. So it's like I don't know like what has happened. They're like, I really need the person really like rather tomorrow if possible. So that's the reason why we don't want to put like 4 weeks of getting all the applications and then start going through the process. We want to start going them through immediately and try to find the employee for the client.
Definitely, yeah, a good addition. More specifically, I always suggest to having a photo, a professional photo, so no selfies. I suggest having someone to take it for you. White wall, nice lighting. It's a nice addition. Not a must, but it's a really nice addition and brings the personal touch. We don't need to see your birth date, your gender, any of those GDPR stuff, so statuses, your religion, any of that. Just your contact information and your name. That's the most important thing for us. A very, very important part when talking about your work experience as well as your education, please check that it's a chronological order. The most recent experience or education first, and then the older ones the last. So we really want to know the latest status of yourself. Can be in Finnish or English, but suggest having it the language that the job advert was written. And also, yeah, you don't need to put all the information in your CV, only the most relevant one. For example, when we're talking about education, maybe high school, if that's recent, I would suggest that being the oldest degree, and then other more relevant ones. And please tell about your studies. What did they consist of? Your majors, your minors, not only the title of your degree, because having the description, it offers so much more. Maybe you were rewarded of something. Maybe you were part of a student union or something like that. That's also very important, adding in top below the title. This also is the same when we're talking about job experiences. The title doesn't tell anything. It's about what you actually did there. So having bullet points about that.
And for example, in university, like Master of Social Sciences can be anything from psychology to political science. So it really like varies a lot. So that's the reason why I add like what your major was, not just the degree.
Definitely, yeah. And maybe hobbies or having the military service, that's volunteer. But these are also some things that can be your standing out points. What kind of you're thinking what could make you to stand out from the crowd. So these could be ones. Language skills. I see quite a lot people rating their language skills with some kind of circles or lines. And to be honest, it's really hard for me to know what does half a circle mean. Is it a basic? Is it a fluent? Are you like kind of good, intermediate? So
that's very popular nowadays.
It is, yeah. It is. So annoying as well.
To be honest, I think it comes from having visual CVs, which by the way, very good. Visual CV, yes, but it's not the looks, it's what you write about it. So focus on the text and the consistency, not the beautiful looks. Same with this. So maybe having it written down, basic, intermediate, fluent. You can search for different kinds of words, but no circles. And then maybe you have some certificates, other courses, also nice standing out points. And one thing I actually saw just yesterday, I was really amazed by it. This person was applying, it was a job in the IT field, and this person did not have lots of experience, but she had been attending a lot of different webinars, events, maybe back before COVID, but lots of different events in the field. And that way also networking and educating herself in addition to having a degree. And she listed those out, and I was really like, wow, this person truly has motivation for this field. And that's a tip as well if you are active in different kinds of networking or field events, adding those two. And having your references below, name, title, and the company, but no any personal or sensitive data such as contact informations. The recruiter will be asking those later. One last tip, when you send your files, first of all, please always PDF files. Sometimes I get a docs file and it's named like, I don't know, like Laura, choose this one, edited 1, 2, 3, something like this. It's not a very, you want to name it with your name, first name, last name, CV, also creates a personal look. It's a nice like addition to your application. So keep that in mind. Couple things, these we have gone through, but a checklist, apply immediately. You don't need to wait for the weekend, especially through academic work. Customize, that's something we cannot emphasize enough. I know it takes extra work, but it's worth it. And that's what makes you stand out. Check for typos. You don't want to have those kind of things written on your application. Read through, maybe ask your friend to read through one more time, and that your file is named properly. We have gathered a couple frequent asked questions. How can recruiter find you? Through us, yeah, the keywords, and then of course applying straight to the position. But really written down those skills and keywords on your CV as well as LinkedIn. The same logic works with us as well as in LinkedIn search. And this is a tip, calling to the company, that I see quite a lot. And to some companies and some recruiters, yes, it's a way to give a personal touch and introduce yourself. But through academic work, you don't need to do it. We actually don't, the recruiters, for example, when I'm handling processes, my number is not even written in the job advert. There is an email address. And if you have any questions, we are always answering by email. And we're happy to give more answers, but you don't need to call us at academic work. CV length, 1 page, 2 pages, both are fine. It mostly matters that it's informative and you have the information that is needed. If your CV is 2 pages, but there is some random extra stuff, that's not good either. So rather informative 1 page, or if you have some very extra things, you have lots of experience, then that can be 2 pages. And about the visual CVs, as I mentioned, they are very trendy nowadays. I see them a lot nowadays. One of my favorite portal is canva.com. Very easy to do, very, very nice and professional looking CVs. Yes, you can totally do it, but it's not mandatory. If you are in the field of marketing or some other creative fields, of course, this is also your, like, it's a must. It also shows your skills, works as a portfolio as well. But otherwise, it's most important that it's clear, easy to read. Canva is just a nice addition to it.
I just realized we ran out of time. We were so lost in the presentation that we didn't realize it's past 6. do we have any questions before we wrap up?
We were also in a very, I think the main points were set on the presentation.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, LinkedIn was something, but really these things do apply. What I talked about, customizing keywords, having the professional look, same apply to LinkedIn. If
you can just press them through, and people who are viewing this can check them out and get some information later.
Yeah, having your header, your summary, your experience very clearly. Some little things to keep in mind. This was more about YPI, but definitely you can check that out on our website and see the latest results and our top 50 most attractive employees in Finland 2021.
Oh, this is interesting.
Based on the search.
YPI is so interesting, so definitely check it out about what's the most interesting for.
Yeah.
As a teaser, the first time in our surveys that we've done that salary is more important than culture for our for young professionals due to the COVID and people doing remote work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. The most important fact is the nature of the job, and after that, salary. So culture is not as important anymore as it used to be. So that's what we've been seeing in the results.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just had a question. So how long should a CV be? Like, is 2 pages the maximum, or can somebody go beyond? Okay.
Not longer. We tend to get a lot of applications where the CV is so long. So you can modify it depending on what your CV depends on what you're applying for. So really about what is the experience that is relevant for this position, and leave everything out, because otherwise it's too long. It doesn't. In 6 seconds you no way get to check a CV. 2 pages is very maximum. Also, you can leave out like half of your work experience if needed, and just say that, put check my LinkedIn where you can see all my previous experience. Here are just from years this and this onwards.
Okay.
And it's the application letter.
I usually put relevant work experience. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. And you can just put a mention that I've only stated relevant work experience to this CV. What I've done in between the gaps, you can check from my LinkedIn, for example.
Okay. All right. So, thank you. Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What about cover letters?
Yeah. Cover letters, talking about application letter, motivation letter, that could be also, well, typically 1 page with that, because you have from the top to the bottom is most important. And there you open more about what you have done, what you have learned, what with your experience you can offer to the company, and most importantly, what is it about the position and the company that you are attracted to. So no just any general application letter, no. It's tailor-making and really showcasing your motivation specifically to that position and the company.
The cover letter is important in that sense. It doesn't matter like how, if I as a recruiter check all the applicants, it doesn't matter like what's the form, as long as it's easy to read and so on. If it's perfect language, no, that doesn't matter. I want to have it. I want to see why you're motivated in applying, and it really like puts you in a different position compared to other applicants that just send CV. Because if you just send CV, it means like, okay, this person is sending CVs to different places. They're not interested in this position. But if I see an applicant that has cover letter specified to this position and a good CV, then it's like, okay, you really are motivated in getting this position.
Thank you.
So perhaps I can do a follow-up. So it is recommended to send a cover letter even though the advertisement of the job doesn't explicitly ask for it?
Yes, in Finland, yes, do that, definitely.
Yeah. And with the application letter as well, I suggest to put your time and effort to make it a very strong core application letter, and then that just modified based on where you get where you are applying for. It takes that one day, full day, putting your CV and application to top-notch state, but after that, job hunting gets a lot easier when just doing little modifications. And like Satu said, specifically, for example, at academic work, we don't ask for application letter, but we are still expecting to have one where we truly see that this person is motivated.
Yeah.
And perhaps a second question regarding if we should call or not the company. In general, so I will start applying in January, so I have no experience so far. But I've heard that it is good to have like social reference, or if you know someone that is connected and notice someone in the company that perhaps could talk about you. And this is also a way that recruiters could notice your CV. Will you recommend that, or how often should that happen?
I think in Finland, it really depends on the company and the position you're doing. So why not, if you have some connections to the company, why not connect with people and let them know that you're interested in coming to the same job place. But you don't need to do that. They will look for your CV and cover letter, even though you wouldn't have connected with anyone. For sure, they will still like count you in. So you don't need to know or socially connect with anyone. Yes. And about the calling, a good tip for that is that if in the job ad you see that there is more questions, call this number at this and this time, then they are open for you calling and saying that you're motivated and asking, make up some random question that you will ask just something and then say like, I'm really interested in this, I will send my CV. So then they will remember your name. But if in the job ad it doesn't say anything, any communicate like any number where to call, don't call, then they normally don't want it. For example, in sales positions, if there is people watching this who are in sales, call in sales positions, even though there wouldn't be numbers. That's the most I think maybe the only position where I say this, that go like call even though there is a number, because in sales positions you have to be goal oriented. You have to know what you want, and in that meaning that you want to call the client and say, I want to get this job. That's like showcasing your like motivation the most when you call a sales manager saying, I want this job. But otherwise, don't call if there isn't any number.
I have another question. I'm sorry, Sam. Yeah, because I don't know how it works in Finland, but in several places, when people are sending a CV, there is always reference of two people, from the workplace where they have worked in the past, or maybe their educational institution. Do we also here, if we are searching for a job in Finland, mention that in the CV?
Yeah, you can mention two references, but don't put any context there.
Oh, okay.
Because,
just the names.
Just the name. Because of the GDPR, you can't send files that have contact information of anyone.
Okay.
It's hard for us because then we have, when we receive your CV, then we have contact, like contact information, like that we can't store. So that's a problem for us. So don't send anything. Just put the name of the reference, and then the recruiter will ask the contacts if they need it.
Okay. And do we also mention like the name and the designation? That's it, or the organization where they're okay.
Also the organization, I think it's good.
Yeah.
So the name and the profession and the organization, those three.
Okay.
And maybe like my former manager, so you know who this person was to you.
Okay.
And yeah, I was mentioning one more tip about, we were talking about if you know someone, a reference at the company. So one tip, this is very, very good tip. If you know someone that works in the company, of course, it's a good way to go and ask, what's the culture about? Do you enjoy working there? Like, tell me a little bit about the company. okay, now you have talked with someone who actually works there, if it's your friend or someone, then you're writing your application letter where you can mention,
Yeah.
hey, I know this person, she works there or he works there. I have been hearing a lot of good things about your your culture seems to be very easygoing and supportive. I would love to be part of this community. And then me as a recruiter, I'm like, wow, motivation, it's right there. You have done a little bit of research. If you just know anyone use this strategy, it's a very good way to impress.
Also in LinkedIn, if you don't know personally anyone, just follow or connect with people who work at the company and kind of follow those discussions if you're really interested in getting a position from certain companies. Like connect with those people, see their posts and so on. So when you apply, you can do the same. You put to the cover letter that I've been following you guys on LinkedIn for so and so long. I know that your culture is amazing and you have amazing people working there, and I would really want to be part of that. So that's one trick as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a question about the customize my CV because I study international business management. So I always do some general business things. I always have some like operation things. You will do a lot of things related to sales, marketing, or sometimes it's HR if you work as a startup company. So if I want to apply a job like HR, should I delete other things? For example, I'm working as an operation manager. Should I delete other things related to sales or marketing, only leave the HR related working experience if I want to apply a HR job? Or should I do that, or I should leave it all there?
Yeah, well, I can start by saying it really depends on how much you have the experience. If someone has 20 years of experience, then it's good to really focusing on the HR experience since you're applying for an HR job. But for example, I think people really underestimate the valuable experience that you can collect from different types of positions. Let's say you're applying for HR, but you have customer service experience. You can still pinpoint such a relevant experience from the customer service, which you can be using in the position in the HR. So it's all about the way you present your experience and you pinpoint the main points.
Also think about the field where the company is working. If you're applying for HR position, but the company is in, let's say, in IT, then it's maybe if you have working experience within IT and in other companies in another role but it was in IT field, maybe pinpoint that, because then you have like experience in the same field that you're applying to. So not just the position and the job tasks, but also like kind
related experience.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, well, if not, then we can say thank you to our speakers and our audience for this very, very interesting webinar and discussion at the end. and see you next year.
Thank you, Alina, and thank you for Ashmita, and thanks everyone for the questions. We could have talked here for hours, I think.
I think,
Thank you.
yeah, I think we were just getting started.
Yeah, and connect with us in LinkedIn so we know you're being active in LinkedIn.
Well, good luck everyone for job search. We hope that you got some tips, and please check out academic work and all the really interesting job opportunities that we offer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.